hear anything.
I forgot the button for a minute there.
Can't hear you.
Perfect.
Hello, test.
I can hear you.
You hear me?
Yep.
Ah, yes. We're back. How is my audio?
It is what it is.
Well, it's not good.
I know. Just before going on to my mic stand, decided it wanted to just let go of everything, so it is MacGyvered, wrapped rubber bands on to hold it in place.
Well, I misremembered that I got a new laptop from work this summer, and I was like, why are things not connecting? Normally, we were just good to go. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's because I now have a new Dell computer that I'm using. And so I'm using Bluetooth
Nice.
speakers, so I hope that it's good for the audio, but for
It's perfect.
next episode, I'll be a bit more prepared.
Well, like they say.
Oh, it's good to be back.
It certainly is. How was the summer, man?
I guess it depends on how you look at it. It was either too short or not long enough, or too long and should have been over quicker. It seems like when you want to fill the time, you find there's no time to fill it. And then when it's almost gone, you say there was so much we didn't get done.
100%. And I think I wanted to pressure wash the siding of the house. I wanted to do a couple things in the backyard. Oh yeah, I got plenty of time. And I'm like, oh no, it's actually September. I am dealing with borrowed time at the moment, and I won't get things done. But yeah, to your point, you set yourself up with high expectations when the warmer weather comes and the longer nights or days come, and then you take it for granted and you are racing against the clock.
Well, it's like an hour ago we were looking outside going, is there a storm coming or is it just dark now at 7:30?
Yeah, that's been Jade's thing for the last, let's say, 3 or 4 weeks, where it's like, oh my God, it's like 8 o'clock and it's dark out. Oh no, it's 10 to 8 and it's dark out. I'm literally getting a daily play-by-play on the length of our sun and how long it's staying up for. I'm like, yes, it's this time of year. Like, it sucks, I know, but. And then if I really want to jab it to her, I'll be like, oh, did you see outside? Like a bunch of leaves are falling off the tree. And then I'll just wind her up that way.
Yeah, there's some app that I have. I can't remember what it is, but it one tab, it's like, press this to see the color forecast. Like, what is color forecast? And it is showing you literally the fall colors and where it's changing and at what rate.
That's oddly enough very depressing yet cool.
We are in the 0% color change. I disagree, but we apparently
that's lies.
We still have tree coverage, so we're good.
0% color change, and just skip over the color change and go straight to dropping off the branches.
That's right.
Just fall off the branches green.
We are without naked trees as of right now.
I'm okay. I mean, part of me likes the fall because I get to wear sweaters and you got a bit of a brisk in the air, but then once it's here for good, then I'm like, yeah, I don't want it here anymore, and I think that's just you need your break from the summer heat. And so when it comes, you're like, oh, that's refreshing. And oh no, it's here for another 240 days.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster this week, because you're high level humidity, 40 degrees, and then today no sun, high teens, low 20s, and it's brisk. I should put on a little light jacket. After meanwhile, losing 20 pounds in sweat 2 days before.
Yeah, it's like Chinooks in Calgary. So for for those that haven't been to Calgary, they go through this thing called Chinooks where you can have multiple weather systems in the same 24-hour period. And when I was living out there, there was one day I'll never forget. I was driving to work in the morning, and it was like, 10 degrees. By lunchtime, it was 25. By about 4 o'clock, it was hail. And then just as the sun was going down, there was snow. And it's like, oh, okay, well, we've now experienced all 4 weather systems in the same day. So
I couldn't fathom that as a reality.
no,
That's just,
absolutely not.
That's just like the sky is falling. The worst is happening right now.
Think about now granted, here we are bitching about this kind of thing when we actually have huge weather problems going on in the world, but still, like, I couldn't deal with that on a regular. Like, just think about how much it would mess up your system on a regular basis if you're having to deal with that kind of thing,
Yeah, it's like going through like the stages of grief all in a day.
Yep. The highs and the lows. And that's the more you know.
Or my new personal favorite one is.
And if you don't know, now you know.
I love it. And you cut it off at the right time.
Oh, I edited it.
And
Don't worry.
And we're gonna edit it.
We don't want those emails and cease.
No. Definitely not. So that you can't come back from that, right? So
we can't. Other people can.
Yeah, that's true. We couldn't.
No.
We would be canceled.
Yeah. Yes, we would. As we are big fans of late night, I'm sure you've been aware of the news the past 36 hours of one Jimmy Fallon and the Rolling Stone article that came about behind the scenes just awfulness.
Okay, hold on. I don't know anything that you're telling me right now.
What's
going on?
Are you in a bubble?
Is Jimmy Fallon a facade?
Yeah, apparently.
No. So he got Ellen.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So Rolling Stone has what people call for the non-visual people, I'm air quoting, bombshell report. That essentially just describes a just total toxic, hostile work environment where, you have good Jimmy, you have bad Jimmy, you have your good Jimmy days, you have your bad Jimmy days. If he's in a mood, you best want to get out of the vicinity of him because shit is going to be bad for you. There's some people who were no longer working for the show that says like it was so bad that they would often go to like empty dressing rooms just to like collect themselves, and like if he was drunk or hungover or something, like it's just
he battled issues with that, didn't he?
He did, but the worst part about it is like you hear all the articles and stuff is that there's been some NBC's come out and he's released it, but no one's denying anything. No one is saying like, nope, this didn't happen. It's kind of like, yeah, this has been bad. We knew about it. Let's move on.
So I'm curious, like, were these reports from when he was having those issues? Like because I feel like there was a period in time when he was doing the show, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, he broke his ankle. He was just like, completely in the sauce. Mm-hmm. Things were going bad personally and professionally. And I wonder, like, were these experiences from when he was like that, or is it how it is today?
The only thing that says anything about being recent is that they brought up the new showrunner, Chris Miller, who's running the Tonight Show. And for the most part, people are saying that it's improved and that the majority of what's been talked about is years old. So I don't know how many years old, but it's not like this past calendar year or a bit.
How do the Roots feel about this? And like the Roots are my third favorite hip hop band of all time. I've followed the Roots since nobody knew who they were. And they've been with the show since Jimmy's been with the show pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. I'm curious what, like, if they're involved or if all of these incidences are isolated from them, because I know that Questlove is pretty vocal about equality, about,
Mm-hmm.
treating people right, about doing the right thing on his Instagram and TikTok pages and all of social media. And I'm curious if these were things that were happening without their knowledge, or were they turning a blind eye? And wow,
Yeah,
I'm
I don't know. I guess
surprised,
what'll
not
be in the
surprised.
coming days and see if there's any sort of statement or acknowledgement by those guys. Like, it's hard to say what's going to happen now with Hollywood shut down and writer strike, so there's nobody actively working.
Right.
And
Well,
depending on depending on the guild you're in, you might not be able to at right now talk about anything.
the guild,
Yeah, like if you're in the Writers
I
Guild or the Actors Guild, like you might not be able
so
to do any sort of press, so you're violating striking rules.
yeah. When you said guild, my mind went immediately to like Morrowind and like Skyrim, and which guild am I going to be a part of? But no, I get it, the guild. And now when it
Gryffindor.
happened, well, yeah,
That's
when
different.
it happened, when it came out that Ellen show was similar to this, she went and announced that it would be her last year and that she was retiring after the next season. And I think maybe that was her way of getting through it or skating by it. And I'm curious
Cut
if
and
that's
run.
something that he will do. Because I want to say he's been doing this for the host for at least 10 or 15 years. Like, it's been a good chunk of time. It's nowhere close to his predecessors, but he's been doing it for a while.
10 seasons.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Well, Jimmy, you done messed up. You done messed
We
up.
hardly knew you. He will be
Got a little
missed.
spray tan going on in that photo.
Yeah. Well, you gotta cover the dark from the drinking.
For sure. Well, and that's the thing. Like, he's also from New York. You think like, I think that's part of the reason why I'm so surprised about this is because when he was on SNL, like, he was that young up and comer comedian that always played those characters in the skits where like they were the lovable, jovial type of person. So it's hard to hear like that he's an asshole, right? But I mean,
He was
part of
also
me is
one of
also
those, like,
not
you
surprised.
loved him or you hated him. Like, you either loved him because he broke character and laughed during a skit, or you hated him for doing that in order to get the camera on him and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I don't think he was breaking character just to move himself forward or to get any attention put on him. Like, I
Some think
genuinely
that.
think,
Like, I heard Tracy Morgan thought that when they were on the show together. He hated him for it. He often confronted him about it.
really? Oh, come on. I thought that was the best part
Well,
of the skit, right?
it's SNL, right? Like, it's just listen to some of
Yeah.
the other guys. Like, it's hard to get your shit on there, and it's hard to get the camera time. So when someone maybe he's not necessarily doing it on purpose, but caught on that, hey, this is something that happens if this happens.
But I saw a clip recently of Bill Hader and Fred Armisen and Seth Myers, thank you. And they were talking about a skit that went to it didn't make the final cut, but they were all breaking character, and Bill Hader was one that broke character quite often too. I think he was very talented, and I think Jimmy was talented too when he was on the show. I think it's sometimes people that get upset about breaking character, it's like, relax. It's a live comedy show. Part of the appeal of it being a live comedy show is that anything can happen. Sinead O'Connor. Yeah, or what was yeah, or the lip syncer, the younger sister of Jessica Simpson.
Ashley Simpson. Yeah.
Ashley Simpson.
That was
Perfect
great.
example.
That was amazing.
It really was. It really was.
Track just starts playing and just
Tuesday.
and then
Just
just
like, just a little
Jake
shimmy.
commercial.
That's right. We need like a little animated GIF of that jig that comes up on the bottom. Just whenever we need to like finish up on a topic, that she just comes and dances across the
just
screen.
yeah, it's like the
Did
move
we
on.
get are the interns back from summer vacation? Can they work on that?
Yeah, I don't know if we have any of that stuff that can. Well, look into it.
We'll look into it for the good viewer and good listener.
Oh man,
So we had a summer of movies that happened a
we
long
did.
time
Did you actually
ago.
see any movies
Yeah, oh
in
yeah, yeah.
between
I
in between
saw
baseball and soccer and?
baseball and soccer. Took up a majority of the summer, and I mean, but Oliver won his championship in his division, so that was good. Arlo had a great time, and he's starting up again this Saturday for fall soccer. But yeah, we got to see Flash. We saw Blue Beetle. What other ones were there? I feel like there's another one that I'm missing. Flash, Blue
Superhero
Beetle.
ones?
Yeah. Was there? Oh, saw Secret
Miles.
Invasion. Saw Miles. Yeah.
We'll get to
Or
that. We'll
Across the
get to that
Universe.
in the geek news.
Yeah. So we've made our actually we saw Blue Beetle a few weeks back. Went on a Sunday. And then found out like a day or two later that the subsequent Sunday was National Cinema Day and it was $4 a ticket. I was like, oh, why did I not know about this? Why did I not save it?
I also heard about it late, and then also thought that's not going to happen here. It says national, not international.
Yeah, it
And then
happened.
turns out, oh yeah, it was here too. But
Yeah.
by that point, like we've seen all the ones you wanted to see.
Well, that's it, right? Like there was nothing more to see. I mean, I could have gone to see Barbie, but
You didn't.
no, I didn't. Not at all.
It's the best
Not
story.
at all.
I could have seen it. I didn't. The end.
I'm not part of that, cultural
Barbenheimer?
phenomenon that's taken. I did not see Oppenheimer. No, I haven't seen it.
As much as I want to see it, and as cool as it would be to see the theater, I didn't want to go see it in the theater. I'm just like, it's too long.
Mm.
And
I'm gonna need to use the bathroom.
I've seen long movies. Like Endgame is a long movie.
Yeah. This was longer than that though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't Oppenheimer longer? Yeah.
But it's like it's a 3-hour history lesson that I don't think I needed to see. Like I know what happens.
Yeah.
The bomb goes off.
Yeah. We all know what happens.
Yeah. It's my favorite like meme on there is like went to see Oppenheimer and nobody cheered when I got up and chanted USA when the bomb went off. Just like I know nobody did it, but if that did, I think I would give somebody some respect for that. Like good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for
like
you.
Someone
sir.
said it's a 3-hour movie showcasing the worst of humanity.
Yeah.
If that doesn't scream, put down your $15. I want to sit and watch this. Then I don't know what does.
But I wouldn't put it past. Like Nolan is that director that will dig deeper into that exact thing, like the worst thing that could happen to humanity, and really pick it apart and play with it, cinematically. And
like I went through rather than go see Nolan, I just watched his back catalog at home. I'm like, I watched Insomnia again. I watched, The Prestige, Inception, like all these great Nolan movies.
They held up.
When that's done, I'll watch this one again. I like The Prestige, and every time I watch it, I keep forgetting I like this movie. Like, I really like this movie. It's a really good movie. But it's funny. I know it's going in, but I forget how good it is.
So the year The Prestige came out, there was another
The Illusionist.
The Illusionist, and I forget which one was the one with Hugh Jackman.
The Prestige.
The Prestige, okay. And who was in the other movie?
Edward Norton.
Okay.
It's not a Bill Pullman, Bill Paxton situation here. These are two completely named, but it's just two.
No. I could because I found it weird that summer that it came out, that it was like, you had The Prestige come out, and then in a matter of months, it's like, oh, we've got this other movie coming out.
I haven't seen The Illusionist, but I heard it is very good.
Yeah. No, I haven't either.
That is
the problem with us. Like,
that's how we should review movies now. I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things. The Illusionist.
That's right. Well, I did send you that idea for future movie reviews, given that we're entering into the month of October, so we can maybe look into that a bit more.
Like, we won't watch the things. We'll just talk about what we've heard about them.
Yeah, exactly. What do other people think of the movie?
According to Rotten Tomatoes, this movie
That's
is
right.
a.
That's
Oh, did you hear about Rotten Tomatoes? Since you're big on the news, clearly not. Apparently, some PR firm was paying reviewers to up the scores.
Really? I
If you
mean,
can't trust Rotten Tomatoes, who can you trust?
that's a bit
I
not
think it was
surprising.
tied to one specific movie studio, so it's not like all
Ooh,
encompassing. But
which movie
still,
studio is that? If that came out, it was Warner Brothers and
imagine.
The Flash.
No, because they were lukewarm reviews for The Flash. I can't remember.
That is pretty awful, though. Is there no limit into what they will and will not do? But yeah, like to your point, well, Rotten Tomatoes is the source of truth, really, right?
It is and I know people are like say like, well, it's Rotten Tomatoes, it's critics, who cares? Like, but really, all Rotten Tomatoes is doing is just compiling all the reviews and just telling you out of 100, it's got 6 out of 10, or or 68%.
Yeah, it's a quick glance. You log
doesn't
in.
mean you get it's just like, oh, a majority of people think this is good.
Yep.
Okay, it doesn't mean it is. Like, everything is subjective, but it
For sure
gives you an idea what the pulse of the zeitgeist is thinking about what this is. I can't remember the studio. Just talk amongst yourselves.
Let's be honest, it's probably all of them. It's just one got caught,
It's always the small guys that get caught. They don't want the big ones to come out.
So yeah, like with the strike that's happening.
Yeah, we were just thinking.
We're like, next summer is going to be terrible for the whole movie experience, TV experience, like everything. What movies are going to be? What blockbusters are going to be ready for next year's?
Holdovers from this year.
You think so? Like, what
well,
holdovers?
Oh, a bunch. Oh, here we go, back to the typing.
But do you think that are you referring to Marvel? Do you think some of the delays are because of that? But
no, I'm talking about like they've actually announced movies that have been pushed back due to the strikes. Like Dune Part 2, we got pushed to next year. Godzilla v Kong, which I also was going to bring up here. Something else in there. Some Zendaya movie, a new Lord of the Rings movie, the Dirty Dancing sequel, which of course we're front and center for.
I've already bought my tickets.
For when? If you were a big purchaser? Oh, actually, no. They moved it back even further.
Sorry, which one?
2025. Dirty Dancing got pushed back to 2025.
Oh, son of a...
Well, maybe they'll give you a refund. But, yeah, like there's obviously things that were tentatively supposed to be released in 2024 that are still filming that's got pushed back, like Deadpool is one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally am not overly excited for that one, but we'll see.
Really?
Hey, that is a whole other conversation. That is the geek news. But
we've got to have a conversation about that, good sir.
Are you big on the Godzilla?
No.
How about King Kong?
No.
So you did not see Kong, you did not see Godzilla, you did not see the movie where they battle it out. No.
What was the movie with Bryan Cranston? That was the Godzilla?
Yes. With
Taylor
Johnson.
And I remember I saw up to a scene where they were traveling on a subway or a train, and that was right by the ocean, and then Godzilla came up and started to attack, and I got bored. And it's a property that I've never really been interested in.
So me having a clip or a trailer for the TV series coming to Apple TV Plus is right up your alley.
I'll still watch it. I love trailers.
Because we're talking about television. And this is going to be TV, and there's nothing like basically, I think unless a deal for this writer strike goes in place by the end of this month, I don't think there's any sort of scripted TV coming until fall of 2024. I think they said realistically, just get a writer's room opening, start breaking stories, start writing scripts, start filming. You're running out of real estate here.
Oh goodness.
So if you like reality and game shows, which I know you do,
I do. I'm screwed.
You got that going for you. Well, baseball until playoffs are over.
That's true. That's true.
I guess you're gonna start watching some football.
Yeah, I'll try. You have this trailer queued up?
I do.
Is this what we're? Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Let's do it.
Big TV right there.
I don't know if this will get to you. I hope so.
Can't go wrong, Kurt Russell.
I can't go back in time
No,
and
you
fix
can't.
all the mistakes I made.
And his son.
I'm sold.
But maybe I could leave something for the future.
Is that really his son?
Yeah, Wyatt.
A legacy.
The world
yes,
is on fire. I decided to do something about it.
Hopes, dreams, ambitions.
The mission was to protect their world and ours.
It's what we wanted Monarch to be,
Man, they look alike.
instead of chasing monsters.
If you come with me, you'll know everything, I promise.
Whoa. Wow. The production level in that looks amazing.
Right. It's to paraphrase a line from
I'm
Zack
on
and Mary
board.
Make a Porno. It's shit fighting other shit in focus.
Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. That looks amazing.
Yeah, U.S. Agent is Wyatt Russell.
Oh my God. U.S. Agent is Kirk Russell's son?
Yeah. Now you have to go back and
U.S.
watch.
Agent is Ego's son?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. It's mind blown. Wow. Okay. You can really sell me on a movie or a TV show when in the trailer or within the movie, obviously, they sprinkle in like footage from past time. Like with this trailer, they showed footage of reels from like back in the day, and when it comes to historical reels, you have me. Like, yeah, I'm in.
That's why you watch Forrest Gump on loop.
Oh, like I love that where they can like make it seem
like this happened and
make it seem give it an extra sense of realism. I love it. And that's I'm 100% gonna watch this.
So you
and I'm just curious.
Love the opening credits of Watchmen, because that's all that was, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like going back in time and throwing in the supers in there.
And just making it seem like it was actually something that really happened. Like you're actually watching footage of something from days gone by.
Yep.
So when does that drop?
Yeah, you think I'd have that written down. I told you I worked this week and like actually worked.
Yeah, you were busy.
Just phone it and wait for the it comes out on Apple TV Plus in 2023. You think when you Googled it and it had it there, it would say, look, right, it comes up and here you go. And November.
Okay.
November 17th, 2023. That has not been pushed. So,
and I mean, honestly, even add on to the fact that the cinematography looks great, the production value looks second to none almost. But you have Kirk Russell starring, John Goodman starring, like both actors that can hold their own and carry a show or a movie no problem whatsoever.
And you know who is at least the first two episodes directing this? Matt Shackman, which you might remember directed WandaVision.
Oh, okay.
Also directed a number of episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Which seasons? Like later or earlier seasons? Does it say? Come on, Corey. Have these things ready. Look at me asking all the questions.
He's been involved with it since 2002. So, I guess
So
early
when
on.
it first started coming out,
Yeah.
yeah. Awesome. Where was he born? What's his birthday?
Are you gonna send him a care basket or something?
No, I just wanted you to keep searching.
He's from Ventura, California. That's all I got. His dad was Jewish.
There you go. I added a new platform to our many platforms that we have now.
Oh God,
I'm not proud to say. So we started watching Vanderpump Rules, and we're just constantly like just plowing through it.
Just gonna turn this off.
Yeah, where's the off button? So
man, I gotta get like one of those like technical difficulties things that pop up.
That's right. Yeah.
Just like
yeah, that's right.
Vanderpump Rules. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
And we watched the first 2 seasons through Prime, and Prime does this really weird thing. So it started in 2013. It's still going on, so it's in its 10th season.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a mind. Sorry. It's messing with your mind when you start watching it because it's from 10 years ago. So when you see like flashbacks in the show from like years past, it's like 2011. It's like it just kind of messes with you a bit. Yep. Anyway, first 2 seasons available on Prime, and then third, 4th, and 5th seasons on Hayu. And then it goes back to Prime, and then it finishes off on Hayu. So they sprinkle the series across the 2 platforms. So in order to watch it, you've got to have both. So I signed up for Hayu. I'm going to drop it though. We're past the free trial. It's another $7 that I'm spending for another platform. But as soon as we're done this show, cutting it off like cold turkey. She gone. But
it's like what Michael Scott's like for just the cost of a coffee every hour.
There is something that came out on Netflix, and I've added it to my queue, and I do want to watch it. I've read the comic book, but it's Chosen.
No, Chosen.
Chosen, or is it Chosen on Netflix, or is it American Jesus? I think it's Chosen.
Okay.
And you should watch it. It's do you know of it? Are you familiar with?
No,
so it came out I want to say about 15 years or so ago, and it was written by Mark Millar, drawn by David or Peter Gross, one of the two, I can't remember, but it's a 3-issue miniseries, and it's about this little boy who has godlike powers, and so people think he's the next coming of Jesus, and so they're following him around. They're like, they're starting to prep him for being this, the next Messiah, and then there's some things that actually happen with it, and I can't say anything more. I probably didn't do it justice explaining it, but it's a really good read. It's a short read too. It's nice and succinct. So I'm curious how the show will look too. But Mark Millar hasn't had much success with shows on Netflix, like Jupiter's Legacy. I didn't even think it made it through season 1, or it did. Didn't get renewed for season 2. I liked it.
Like he had Kick-Ass, right? The first
Kick-Ass was good.
That did well, and then the second one didn't. But that was, after Sandy Hook and violence and stuff like that in the media was kind of not what people wanted it then. But then I think since then it hasn't really been working out.
No, but he signed this huge deal with Netflix because for the last 15 years, and it started with Kick-Ass.
Mm-hmm.
Every comic book series that he has written have all been like single volume short stories, and that's it. But they're all part of this larger universe, which is Millar World or whatever. And so he signed a deal with Netflix to have these comics put onto Netflix, and Super Legacy was one. Magic Order, I don't think it's come out, but that's another one that should come out. Chosen. So we'll see if there's some success with that. But I feel like it's almost going to be a victim of just the genre burnout that's taking place right now.
Oh, yes. That would be coming up in our next segment, which
There we
will
go.
do
Is that
after.
a segue? Oh,
Right. Take a little ad break. Here we go.
Is your mom there?
No, I'm home alone.
Well, you won a prize. What's your address?
42 Oak Street. Hey, Roblox, some stranger's bringing me a prize.
A stranger, huh? All he wanted to bring you was trouble. Remember, never tell anyone you're home alone and never give anyone your address.
I'll say Mom can't come to the phone.
Smart thinking.
Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
That's right.
those G.I. Joe PSAs were amazing.
Knowing is half the battle.
Knowing is half the battle. And he's like, "Don't you tell anyone what you doing."
Meanwhile, Roadblock's showing up at his house and he's got nobody home.
That's right.
But
That's right.
I guess Roadblock's no stranger.
Wearing a questionable attire midday on a suburban street. It's
And are we supposed to believe like that car that drove by was the stranger? Because then he did get his address.
yeah.
But I guess now
Yeah,
the
and he
kid
could
knows
be
going
back.
forward. Going forward.
There
All
was
right.
there was another one that I liked, which was about leaving pots boiling on the stove, and you can't do that, Jimmy, because if it falls over, it can burn your face. And it's like, okay, like I won't ever do that again.
Yeah. But don't you know a lot of like super villain origin stories?
100%. Joker is one.
So maybe you want to get burned.
Yeah, that was a classic.
All right, some geek news. All right, so you want to talk about superhero burnout is the big, or superhero fatigue is the big buzzword going around Hollywood based on movies and their box office. Like, start with The Flash saying that it's effectively going to lose, according to my mathematical skills,
Go ahead and make calculations.
$131 million, making it the biggest flop that is a superhero movie in like recent memory. $200 million budget plus $200 million to market it, and it only made $268.53 million worldwide.
Did you not see the common theme that's going on? Before that, it was first of all, the superhero genre fatigue or burnout that we're experiencing. We went from like 4 years ago or 5 years ago saying Marvel is the best. This is amazing. The culmination of 12 years of movie making and all these movies to Marvel. This is like your fault, and this is why we're experiencing this. But the Flash stat that you just said, where it's like the biggest flop. Well, before that, there was Ant-Man that didn't meet expectations. It was the worst Marvel movie.
Right, but the defense of Ant-Man, and I won't defend that movie at all. It opened well. It dropped off fast. So like it was everybody came out, oh shit, Ant-Man, all right, here we go. And then fuck me. And then the rest is
100%. And they didn't put any marketing into Blue Beetle.
And they also couldn't because of the strike, right? No one can go promote it.
Yeah, that's true. I have my thoughts on that though. I think it could have performed better than. I think it could have had a better experience out there than what it received. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what the fix is for this fatigue. Part of me is thinking that Marvel might be doing themselves a service by pushing everything back and not making announcements and delaying things to just get people to kind of forget what's going on, as opposed to previously it was like, okay, well, the next 3 movies are laid out in the next year and this is what's going to happen, and we're slowly progressing. We're not getting anything right now, so maybe they're just hitting the pause button and saying, maybe that will help alleviate some of that pressure that we're feeling from people not being so jazzed about movies or TV shows that are coming out.
I heard one theory. You want to hear the theory?
Yeah.
Endgame was never expected to happen. They had no concrete plans to actually do what they did. Then so everybody went along with the ride, watching as it went.
Are you talking like back in like
starting
Iron
back
Man
in
1?
yeah, with Iron Man? Like there was like we have this idea, let's see where it
Yeah.
goes, and we all
Okay.
went with the ride. Then we got Endgame, and it, like I said, it culminated 8 years worth of movies, right? And we got an ending, and then they just went right at it, and they didn't give you a chance to, you know, settle on what you just witnessed. They just went right, here's this one, here's this one, here's this. Now we got shows. Now we got this. Now we got that. They didn't let you come down,
Marinate
in what you just saw, digest everything, and then prepare for your next meal. It was just, oh, that was good. Here's some dessert. You know, have a snack. Here, do this. And then now we're just stuffed with it.
So the thing that came to mind when you're explaining that was, remember National Lampoon's European Vacation?
Yep.
When Clark, the daughter, I can't remember her name,
Audrey.
it's escaping me right now. Audrey, thank you. Audrey's at the castle, and she just keeps getting food that's brought to her, and she's just eating and eating and eating, and not really like kind of like shoveling the food in her face.
And that's what they're doing, because it's like we were told like, you don't have to watch everything to get the story, but now they've made it. You got to have Disney Plus to watch WandaVision. You have to watch Captain America to see how Sam's now Captain America. You have to watch Loki to know who He Who Remains is, which is who leads you to Kang. And then you have to watch this one and that one to get the story, which before you really necessarily didn't have to. And then when we're there and you're spoon feeding us all this, we're watching the movie, we're staying to the end because you've treated us so well to know what's going on next, and they're just filler deleted scenes.
Oh, they're just like
not
trash.
telling you what's coming up, except for Shang-Chi, which, you know, laid the track for what's to come next, and they have not touched it in what, 3 years?
Yeah. And ironically, that was the one movie that was the first movie that came out of COVID or during COVID. And potentially was the most impacted because they were half of the movie done pre-pandemic, the other half post-pandemic, or when it was taking place. And to your point, like they had that little end scene that was phenomenal, but every other end scene since then has just been like, really? I could have gone pee 7 minutes ago.
I could have left.
And now I've got, urinary tract infection. Thanks, Marvel. UTI. Thanks, Marvel.
Denied.
Denied. That's right. Yeah. Finish him. So.
And then you have like things, like you said, with Shang-Chi, is that you get more and more of, we have this movie, we filmed this movie, then let's go back and reshoot half of it. Because we're going to make these changes, because we're going to do this instead now, and this person's going to be in it. Or like even with Thor introducing Hercules at the end, which in all likelihood, you're never going to get a payoff on that.
So.
And then there's Secret Invasion.
Are we going to talk Secret Invasion? I have just one big...
Make your point, and then we can go to Secret Invasion.
No, I mean, I was going to go into
go into Secret Invasion. I'll give my gripe 6 episodes of that.
Yeah, I mean, I had just... First of all, Super Skrull.
That is a screenshot of my face after the show. I clawed 100%. My face and blinded myself in one eye and went...
Secret Invasion, just to set the table, is one of my favorite comic book events that has ever been written. It was phenomenal. For those that haven't read it, highly recommend it.
I have read it.
I know what you're talking about. So I was pretty excited about the potential when it was first announced, but then as it kept on progressing, I was like, I'm losing faith, but I will still watch it with some degree of excitement and anticipation. But as the show was going on, 2 things stuck out to me that were just like, this is just terrible. Number one, to a lesser degree, was, Super Skrull takes on the powers. I have them over here. Takes on the powers of the Fantastic Four. Yeah, exactly. That whole top shelf is cosmic. It's the Super Skrull is to take on the powers of the Fantastic Four. Four, not Fantastic 27. It's the
That's right.
Fantastic Four.
Mhm.
So in the show, they decided to take on every single living superpower that was
The
in
Avengers.
the MCU.
The blood of the
Avengers, yeah. Exactly. My second gripe, which was just confusing, was okay. So Rhodesy was swapped out in Secret Invasion. He was able to walk on his own away when like they took him out of the canister. He was able to like with help walk off on his own, right? Well,
However,
in Civil War was when he busted his legs. So the swap happened before Civil War. So all that to say, in Endgame, when they were traveling to the different universes, Fury's promise to their race was, "I will find you a suitable home." Well, didn't Rhodey go with not Gamora but Nebula to the planet that was, I forget the name of the planet, but in Endgame? Well, look, there you go. There's a planet. You know, you found your home. Like what? Like why could you have not taken your race to that? And obviously, it's may not be that simple, but just little gaps. And I think that's just kind of where I got a little bit frustrated with it, where it was like, okay,
the retconning that was going on.
yeah, and well,
Like, let's not forget too that in Iron Man 2, Natasha, Black Widow, for those who know people's real names, like unveiled all of Shield's secrets, letting everyone know about Hydra. You don't think she didn't find a file on the Skrulls?
Yeah. I
So
didn't think
wouldn't
about
the whole
that, but that's
world
a good
know
point.
about them since 2008 or 2010?
Yeah.
I think the timeline.
I got the opening scene, episode 1 opening scene, where he goes into the safe house and the guy's like, you know, the guy with the crazy, you know, theories, and he's got all the stringed pictures, everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like I'm like, okay, you have me, like I'm excited, like, you know, all, and then it just fell flat on its face. You know, it was like the best part of that whole series was the first 4 minutes of that series, when it was like he was talking about, you know, all the big attacks and how it was being set up and like the implications, and you know, you're being built up and built up and built up to this massive story for it to be like, ugh, you know, like just,
and how they kind of just, you know, coffined Maria Hill after the first episode too, right? It's like, boom, we're bringing her back.
Like,
oh, now she's
honestly,
dead. Then she gets,
like,
you know, army
that's not
planed body back to the States, and then like not addressed again.
like in the comics. Maria Hill was brought on to replace Nick Fury as like the female version of Nick Fury. And what I mean by that is someone that can kick ass and take names and is very strategic and can't be offed that easily. Well,
yes, she can.
apparently it can happen. Like, just, I guess that's how she met her maker.
I thought, honestly, they would have went like in Secret Invasion, and it would have been a life model decoy. And then she would have come out later because, you know, they're aware of the Skrulls, so she's pretending that like it's not her that's
or she's
actually out
covering,
there. She's in hiding somewhere.
or she's covering her tracks, you know, like just making sure that I just, it was
saved. You could have saved me in the last episode if that would have been like the big reveal.
And honestly, I feel too, like, just in hindsight, obviously being 2020, like when Emilia Clarke was announced that she was going to be in the show, I think I got sucked into the news of like, oh, this is a huge deal. You know, Khaleesi's in the show, like she's going to play this major role. Like, it wasn't that major. Like she was the daughter. I can't even remember the Skrull's name. Talos. It was Talos's daughter. Like, okay.
And now she's a super Skrull, the most powerful character in the MCU now. Take that, Captain Marvel.
Quite literally
coming out.
Yeah, like you
undercut like everything you've built over the last 15 years.
And most recently,
probably never be seen again.
And most recently, like when Captain Marvel was introduced, like when did Captain Marvel come out?
2017? 17, yeah.
Yeah. So not that long ago, 6 years ago, of a franchise that's been around for, you know, since 2008. To your point, just undercut it. Well, yeah, you know, she's had her time. But like, why
Time
do
is
you
on one
need
movie.
I feel like sometimes it's frustrating because Marvel is just like they get really like giddy and they just want to like
Yeah.
unload on everything. It's like, why do you have to have the Super Scroll have every DNA of every Marvel character? Like, could you not just have a couple, like a couple? Like that's maybe what their goal was, but like don't make it so that it was attainable in the show in a 6 episode show. Make it so
Yeah.
that Daros or Davos, what was the bad guy's name?
Oh, sure. I don't remember now.
You know who I'm talking about though. Like make it so that
Yeah.
he, was only able to get a couple. So maybe he got, Groot's power as well as I don't know. I don't even know.
Yeah, I
But
got
just
Groot's
don't
power,
give
the
them.
Extremis, which again, Extremis isn't a power.
No, it's just a chemical imbalance.
Yeah, so like so I think they basically just like, what can we visually represent on the screen that's cool? And then they picked Groot in Extremis.
What graphics and effects were really cool from the movies that have
What's
gone
not
by?
going to take long to render in After Effects here?
Right, yeah. What stock graphics do we have in the old library? It was just disappointing.
I think the only way they can save it for the
Save what?
fans is the whole idea that she's a Super Scroll and the most powerful being in the MCU is that it's like revealed in a throwaway line of, oh, it didn't take, or the effects only last for so long.
See, I agree with you, but the problem is that if that were to happen, which would be the only logical thing to get them out of this mess, would prove that they're not thinking about the story. They're not thinking about the long story.
I don't think they are anymore.
No, well, that's the thing. They're not.
I think they're just trying to fill content with the ultimate goal of not everything is going to continue, so we can forget about it. And we know where we're going. We can fix it all, and we can fix it all in Secret Wars.
It blows my mind because here I am thinking to myself, like, why would you not get a comic book writer that's been writing for Marvel for
I think we've said this before.
Years. No, but I'm sure we have. But like Brian Michael Bendis, like, why don't you hire an established comic book writer that knows the characters, knows the mythos, knows the stories, that can weave a story cohesively from one end to the other for an extended amount of time, as opposed to just Hollywood writers that know how to write a Hollywood movie. Like, no, like just
and you can, I'm sure, can see too that the last few flicks have been written and or directed by people who, until that particular movie came out, you had no idea who they were. Like 100%. We know the Russo brothers, Arrested Development, Community, like they were doing things more on the comedy side of things, but you've seen the names before.
Yeah.
And then they blew you away with one movie, and then they do.
The good thing about the Russo brothers was that they came from Arrested Development, having directed something that was episodic. So that already
and
tells you
big cast of people too, like
for sure.
And so that were involved a lot.
That already tells you that they know how to play the game of doing little bit by little bit and chunk by chunks, as opposed to just bringing in a director that's just like, I'm going to tell my story, not really consider what's going to come up next or what's come up behind me.
So Sam Raimi with the madness of the multiverse.
Yeah, I mean parts. Yeah.
That was a guy who clearly was hired to do a job, not necessarily just like to get you from point A to point B. We need someone to film the camera and tell people where to stand.
He had me for like parts of what his objective was.
They wanted to go kind of scary, bring in Raimi.
Like and like the score and like he had
Danny
me
Elfman,
for what
Danny Elfman in there.
That's right. So anyway, yeah, Secret Invasion. Yet another disappointment.
You got Loki to look forward to.
And I really enjoyed Loki. I enjoyed season 1, and I'm just concerned, like, and that's the thing is, like, what are they going to do with season 2 with what's going on with Jonathan Majors? Like, what is happening with him, and what's happening with his relationship with Marvel, and the fact that they've literally pinned that tail to his ass on everything that's coming out for the next 2 or 3 or 4 years.
Well, the good news is the rumors are circulating that he's only appearing in 3 episodes of Loki season 2. Now, if it's a 3 of 6, I don't know how many episodes there are. I think there's only 6 the first season.
Probably 6, yeah.
So half of the season, he is there.
But what is the objective of Loki season 2? Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing, we talked about it just a bit earlier. Like,
we have no idea what's going on.
They've lost their ways of like, how are they progressing the larger story? And when season 1 ended with the, you know, the Pillar of Kang and like them meeting the, you know, He Who Remains and whatnot, there was like, okay, I can see that there's something they want to investigate. But then every single thing that came after it wasn't cohesive with what that story was supposed to, where it was supposed to pick off. So I don't pick up off of. So I don't know where this one will go. And I don't think they know where it will go, to be completely honest.
Yeah, who knows anymore, man?
But maybe we'll just get like Morpheus with wow. I can't do that. I'm trying to do an own. Wow.
And his jet ski.
Jet ski, that's right.
So before I go into this next thing, I want to go back to the previous topic of superhero fatigue.
Yeah.
And given the Flash, given what's going on in the MCU, do you think possibly it could be that no one cares about the multiverse?
No. I think the multiverse is the saving grace for all of their
they're
problems.
both doing it.
Yeah.
And outside of No Way Home, no one seems to have wanted to go out and see it after that movie.
I think the multiverse is something that they should not throw away, both Marvel and DC, because it's the one thing that can get them out of the problems that in Marvel's case they're in, and potentially DC's case they could be in.
So
the problem I think with them.
Sorry, you finish. I'll go.
No, I was just going to say that I think the problem is that the multiverse being what it is, there's so many interpretations of what it is, and so you kind of get these conflicting stories and ideas on how it works and what can be done and what can't be done and who's impacted and, you know, what could happen, butterfly effect. They're just like, you're just kind of all over the place with it, and it's just like a completely fluid topic that isn't really focused on progressing stories or keeping it as a mechanism to move stories forward. But I don't think they should. I don't think there's any fatigue. I don't think there's no fatigue because I don't think people know enough about the multiverse to make that decision. And there's been explanations in a few of the movies, like I'm sure, like, you know, Flash and No Way Home and others and Multiverse of Madness. But I don't think there's been. I think it's just confusing the people. You know, that's my opinion.
Well, I was going to say, I think what we're dealing with in terms of people tuning out and this whole multiversal saga, I think it's a necessary evil to allow Marvel to reboot their universe with new actors and bring characters back.
100%.
So it's just,
let's be honest, they need a Captain America back. They need an Iron Man back. They need a new Hulk. They need a Wolverine. Like they need, and obviously Hugh Jackman's not going to play that Wolverine forever. So they need something that can just, you know, flick the switch and give them something new where they can easily explain it that, you know, hey, multiverse gave us a new Captain America, but because there are multiple universes out there, that this Captain America is going to be our version for the next 10 years, and then we're going to go find our other next Captain America to be Steve Rogers. So it's just frustrating because, you know, we went through a period where it was like all of our kids, like all of our childhood dreams were coming true, and this is amazing. And like, how has it gone to the other side so quickly where it's like, I'm frustrated, I don't care, like this is just, you know, shit. Unfortunately,
just pumped out too much stuff in such a short amount of time.
They really did.
Like
we didn't need a Moon Knight. We didn't need a Werewolf by Night. We didn't need She-Hulk. Like we could have paused on a few things.
It was fun when there was one or two, and then you had to wait a year for another one.
Yeah, because it was the anticipation. It was like, oh my god, as if we got to wait 6 months for another movie, and like.
But then when
You
you
know, you
have
have
a
6
February, a
months.
May, and then like a November, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And because there's so many
And-
coming up from a time, and you're starting to stretch the bench, right? You're starting to hit the
Oh yeah, you're going to
bench
be getting
players.
into like Puckman and
elongated
other-
man.
Well, that's DC.
I
but
know,
yeah.
but still, just the name.
Yeah, no, for
Try to-
sure.
try
Like
to
just
sell
getting
that,
in.
try some tickets for that on marquee. Elongated man.
Bounce, go wow.
Yeah, right.
Shouldn't he be at a convention in Las Vegas?
Perhaps.
So yeah,
Perhaps
that's
we.
unfortunate.
I want to ask you this: 'tis the
Mhm.
season in Ottawa. Are you going? Ottawa Comic Con this weekend.
I might go on Sunday. We one boy has soccer tomorrow. The other one has his black belt training.
Although
then we
this
have
sign
friends coming
says
over.
8th to 9th. That's today and tomorrow.
Oh, it's not on Sunday? It's only 2 days?
I have no idea. I just grabbed a. Let me look it up.
Oh, I thought it was like a weekend thing, because let's be honest, that's what conventions normally are
No.
till friggin' Sunday. But I guess if that's
Yes,
the
it
case,
is.
my quick.
It's to the 10th. It's to the 10th. This
Okay,
marquee.
thank God.
It would not
You know,
be
just-
Ottawa if they didn't fuck something up. This is a government.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, exactly. No, I'll try and go on Sunday. But yeah, I bet you all the good comics are gonna be gone. All the toys are gonna be gone. It's gonna be crap, but I'll still go.
It's gonna be crap, but I'll go.
I'll
You
go.
heard it here, folks.
I haven't gone to the convention in since 2016 or 2017. Like it's been a long while. Have you gone?
No, I've never been. Let's look at the guests.
Sure, let's do it.
Christopher Eccleston, Doctor Who. He shall be there.
Yeah, I was gonna say before you go on, character names, okay, not real names.
Okay. Jason Isaacs of Harry Potter and Star Trek Discovery fame. Whoa, Casper Van Dien is going to be in town.
No idea who that is.
From Starship Troopers?
Oh, well, I mean, I remember Star Trek Troop, great movie, but who was that? Like the girl? I don't know.
The
It was
lead.
Denise Richards.
Casper Van Dien was the lead guy, man.
He was the one that was dating
Charles-
Denise Richards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario.
Hmm.
We are really starting to. Oh, Charles Vess,
No idea who these people.
comic creator, wrote books of Magic, Sandman, Stardust, and The Amazing Spider-Man: Spirits of the Earth. Giancarlo Esposito is going to be.
Okay, yeah. Isn't he like 80? They were actually talking about him playing Doom for a while. It's a bit of a reach. I mean, he's a bit short, it seems. You need to put him on
He
a
wants to
box
be
like
Professor
Tom
X,
Cruise.
though.
Really?
He does.
I could buy that.
Scrolling. Bunch of Lou Ferrigno, like right there, buddy.
Of course. I got a funny story about Lou Ferrigno.
I want to hear your story about Lou
So-
Ferrigno.
Went to a comic book convention with a buddy of mine.
Okay.
Long time ago, and Lou Ferrigno was there. And Lou Ferrigno was talking to someone, signing autographs, having a conversation. And my buddy was patiently waiting beside that person. And Lou was just not turning to him, and he was starting. My friend was starting to get impatient, and he had a bit of a temper, as we knew him to have. And he was like,
Well, you don't want him
"What
to.
are you like?"
You don't see him
Looked
angry.
over, he's like, "What are you like, fucking deaf?" And he's like, "Actually, I am," and had no idea that he was deaf, and felt so bad. And so yeah, that's Lou Ferrigno story. You go on your face.
No, that one
There you
deserves
go.
that.
Yeah, 100%. But you didn't even go through the comic book guests that were like the artists and the writers.
I started to, but then you want to do your Lou Ferrigno story.
I know.
so
I had to tell that. But as long as you go back to the guest list, then that would be great.
Okay. Oh, lots of people here. Guests of honor. Scrolling out. Let's go back from the bottom up. Oh, these are the postponed people, so they're not coming. So they don't need to get mentioned.
Oh, yeah. Screw you.
Screw you, buddy. Mike Ruth.
Yeah, okay.
Marco Ruddy. Tom Fowler.
Oh, he's a comic book, or he's a convention
Staple.
travels. Yeah, exactly.
Ron Sutton. Wrote Elvira.
Yeah.
Mistress of the Dark. Jay Torres. Teen Titans Go. Jimmy Susan. Oh, Hugh Rookwood.
These are not good names. No offense.
No offense to these creators. Jeff Isherwood. Dan Parent. Archie Comics.
You're really making my decision on Sunday a lot easier. Like, you really are.
Again, no offense.
No offense.
None.
No, I'm gonna go.
Rags
No,
Morales.
really... Oh, wow. Okay. Rags Morales.
Denny Crisis. Batman Confidential. The New 52. Ken
Rags.
Stacy.
Yeah. Okay.
Carl Kerschel.
Oh, I have a drawing from him actually. I have Dr.
Jay
Fate.
Ojic. And that's the rest I've said. Oh, Ed Prison. Ghost Rider, Batman Incorporated, Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
Arthur
Carl Kerschel. Sorry?
Arthur Sudam. Walking Dead,
he's
Marvel
gonna be there.
Zombies.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
I got you kind of interested now.
Yeah, Riggs Morales. I'm just looking, and I feel like I thought he drew Identity Crisis, but I was wrong.
It's written here as Identity Crisis on the card here on the website.
So he did. Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, Identity Crisis, Countdown to Infinite Crisis, Batman Confidential, and on the New 52.
Identity Crisis, great.
Hourman,
great.
Hawkman, Nightwing.
Yeah, there was like that period of time from like 2005 to like 2009 where he was one of the top artists in the game. It's funny how like that happens where you get artists that are just so big for a short amount of time and then they just happen to not be as important or not get big gigs like they used to. Because he's a pretty talented artist.
He's there all weekend.
I might actually go and get one of my books autographed by him then. Carl Kerschel, that's a pretty good draw. He's Canadian if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, imagine being like comic book conventions are great if you're an artist because you can make money off of like sketches and commissions and whatnot, autographs for those that charge like $5 an autograph. But if you're a writer, I mean, you're not going to go and ask them you will ask them for their autograph, but it's not as if they can make some extra money like doing a sketch, or
right.
So it's kind of a raw deal for writers in my opinions. But
could you write me something, please, and not just your name?
Could you write me a paragraph on something?
Write me a 2,000-word essay on the following topic.
I can't believe you've never been.
Nah, just haven't gone.
Just circumstances or just the lack of interest?
I'll say the latter.
And I'll say, because I will say, like, I probably would have gone more times than I have, but every year historically it's always fallen on Mother's Day long week or Mother's Day weekend, pardon me. So obviously that's Sunday. It's like, well, it's a write-off. It's Mother's Day. But yeah, there's only one artist that if they were to go to any convention in Canada, I would probably make my way there, and that's Scotty Young. If he were to come to Ottawa or Toronto or Montreal, I would go out of my way to go and get no less than 74 books autographed by him.
Will they let you do that?
Well, I've been in front of people in lines before. George Perez, God rest his soul. Actually, I got a sketch from him. I got a Green Lantern sketch from George Perez at Ottawa Comic Con the last time I went. The person in front of me, or like two people in front of me, literally had a suitcase full of books that he wanted to get George to autograph. So he would take a pile of books, boom.
Yeah.
And George being
Wow.
like just happy demeanor, boom, nailing off autographs, and then grab the other stacks. Like, wow, like just, pick three and just commit to those three, and that's who you're gonna get. That's what you're gonna get autographed. So
yeah, those are being sold.
Well, yeah, like that's in hindsight, yeah, like that's exactly what it was, right? But
so we've had, I think, a couple of these in place prior to the summer break. These are fan questions. And I said I had them to read, so I know we're running long, so we'll do one, maybe two.
Sure.
Boom. Fan question number one. What superhero that doesn't have a movie yet would you like to see be made?
Oh, that's a great question. You go first.
No. I had the expert go first.
Are we gonna do like the one superhero, or like superhero from DC and from Marvel? I'll let you.
Like, if you have two, then why not name both? Now, it has not yet been made, so
yeah,
I'm not talking reboots. So that's what makes it more difficult.
No, that's exactly it. Oh shit, this is tough. I would say, let me look at my gallery here.
Oh my, damn it, all mine's been done.
You know what? It would be really cool to see.
Step it on.
It would be really cool to. Does it have to be a superhero, or can it be a supervillain?
I don't know. I didn't write it.
I know. I'm just trying to ask, like, I'm struggling.
It's not like we have
this.
a studio audience here that we can. Could you amend your question, please?
Oh, this is tough. I would like to see. I'd like to see a movie about Darkseid and like the new gods, and how Apocalypse and the new gods like went to war, and like how that started. I think that would be a pretty epic story. It likely wouldn't be one that you would or could do over one movie. It'd probably need to be like a trilogy, but I think that would be amazing, because then I think that could set up a whole cosmos for DC.
I know they were doing a New Gods movie. I wonder if this would have actually included all of that as well.
For Marvel,
original.
For Marvel, that's where I'm struggling.
Because all the good ones have been done.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, I think like a lesser known character that has a ton of potential in my mind, and there's been some fan casting or rumors about who would play him if Marvel were to do something with him, but the Sentry being someone with Superman, like
the Thunderbolt villain.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Hasn't been made yet, though. And
I
I would
know.
like it to just
I
be
don't
not.
disagree.
I would like it to be just him, because so the thing with the Sentry is that he battles with like schizophrenia, and so he
Mhm.
has two alter egos. He has Bob Reynolds, who is the Sentry. He's the good version, and he's got Superman like powers. But then he's got the Void, which is like the dark version of the Sentry. So depending on what happens with him and what battle he wins in a given moment, he could be the strongest superhero in the world, or he could be the strongest supervillain. Not in
Yeah.
the world, but in the universe, kind of thing. So it's a very interesting storyline that you can play with. That was very long-winded. So those are my picks. I'll let you go.
What I can think of, because I liked the look of the suit as a kid, and if he didn't have Deadpool, I think Ryan Reynolds would have been great in Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight. Yes.
Just to have the Canadian content, like in like that suit. I thought that would be fun.
There was a moment where I was going to say Alpha Flight too. That's awesome. I'm right there with you. That would be amazing.
Because Canada doesn't have enough, and just get a good Canadian boy to do it. I guess you'll get.
We got like a little, we got a little thumbs up from one of the Wolverine movies. I think when was it Origins, where they kind of made a quick reference to Logan being Canadian. I don't know.
Yeah, but I did watch Logan again not too long ago. It didn't bother me as much the third time.
It's because we're now numb to
the cursing
movies. Like back then, it would have been like, no, I expect more. Now it's like, yeah, that was a simpler time.
I liked it the first time. Second time, I'm like, this has too much unnecessary swearing. But
yeah,
now I'm like, you know what? I'm for it. Like he's earned it.
All right.
The shit that he's been through. This one probably won't be as long. Do you like superheroes with capes, or would you prefer them not to have capes? I guess it's the Edna Mode from Incredibles. You can't wear capes.
Oh, I like capes. I mean, so okay, hold on. Take a pause on that answer for a moment. Depends on what the superpower is. If the superpower is like running around like Flash as an example, or like
but what if
Green
you're Superman?
Arrow,
you don't require the cape. You can fly without it.
No, but it looks cool. It looks cool, and like it doesn't hinder your ability to fly, or to like
so like
Whereas
Doctor
if you're
Strange, it's like sentient.
Yeah.
But though his is a cloak, technically.
I would say with cape. There's too many iconic superheroes with a cape, and granted, that was because when superheroes were first created, they all had capes. So
there's more capes on DC side than there is on Marvel.
For sure. Yeah.
Marvel's like, fuck capes. Iron Man, Captain America.
Yeah.
Although Black Panther had one originally.
Yeah. Yeah. What other ones though? Quick, top 5 Marvel characters with capes. Black Panther. Villains? Doctor Doom.
Damn it. That was the other one.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Quick, two more. Quick,
Hobgoblin, technically, he had a hood and cloak.
Oh, yeah, you're
Grim
right.
Reaper.
And Grim Reaper. There you go. Boom.
Taskmaster
too. Okay, so but then you look at like you go DC, Martian Manhunter, Superman, Red Tornado. I'm looking at all my figures. Dr. Fate, Batman, Robin. Yeah.
So we established that DC capes, yes. Marvel capes, no, because only bad guys wear capes.
For sure.
I can't think of a DC villain that wears capes. It's like, I'm starting to think this was by design.
No, I think the toy actually. I went to there was a toy convention in Ottawa about a month or so ago, and for our video
there he is.
viewers, this is like from 1984, and it's in mint condition. And he has a cape. Darkseid has a cape. Can't really see it, but he does have one. You can see it from here. Can't really see it.
No, you're better with the board picture.
Oh.
Okay, I guess we.
Yeah, you're right.
Boom.
Want to do one more? Yeah.
Yeah. What tends to be worse, sequels, reboots, or remakes?
Oh,
Now, I think reboots is separate here because you can reboot the franchise, but will also retain the continuity. I guess kind of like Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance is a reboot,
right.
but still it's a sequel.
With a bullet, I'm going to say sequels tend to be the worst. Only because depending on the sequel puts itself in a position where it can draw a lot of what made it successful as a part, like that was the first movie, and lean on that too heavily and not tell a good story. Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, I wasn't even going to go superheroes. I was going to say the Hangover trilogy.
Oh, the Hangover. Yeah, the Hangover 2. Yeah. But there are, I find sequels.
A good sequel takes what worked but builds on it, doesn't try to recreate it. Like The Godfather and The Godfather 2.
Right.
Or Empire Strikes
and not exploit it, right? And not, yeah. Whereas reboots and remakes, I would say, I almost like those because it gives you no, because like a remake of Dumb and Dumber, the Dumb and Dumberer, I could never in a million years watch it. But then again, reboots kind of get you excited because there was maybe a storyline that hadn't been touched for decades that was, retouched and made more modern. From a TV show perspective, Battlestar Galactica could have been an example where like the reboot of that TV series was far better than the one that was originally created. So there's pros and cons, but yeah, my answer to this question, sequels for sure tend to be the worst.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Remakes are hit and miss. Like you could not have had 1983 Scarface if there wasn't for the 30s or 40s whatever original that existed.
Mm-hmm.
But then now we're gonna get another one. Or even I was watching in Heat, Michael Mann. He did as a TV movie, then remade it with Pacino and De Niro, and so one of the greatest movies ever made.
Wait, that was a TV movie before?
Yep.
Oh wow! How bad was that?
And if you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, honest to God, I had no idea. Like, I mean, it must have. I mean, even if it was a good TV show or movie.
Yeah, like the characters, all that's the same. Like the heist is the same. They just did it as a theatrical.
Was the TV movie made by Michael Mann as well?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting. See, he must have been pretty like
plethora of the fucking useless knowledge.
Yeah, I almost want to watch it.
And then compare.
Great movie, though. I mean, honestly.
It's got two of
we could do a whole movie review.
Single greatest living actors of our generation. And even predates our generation. Like of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get... Yeah. You will never get two actors like those guys again. It's not going to happen.
No, but there will be perceived, suggested actors that are like that, like Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt.
Man, like these guys have been in everything and done everything, though.
Yeah. Well, you think about they've been in movies since the 70s. It's 5 decades of acting, and consistently good. Great.
Yeah, even they've done shit movies too in that time, but they have done it all. They can collect a paycheck every now and then.
Even movies that even when the Robert De Niro movie with Billy Crystal, where he was the shrink and
analyze this
boss,
and analyze that,
analyze this, where you thought what is he doing? This is a bad career choice. At the time, De Niro was not a comedic actor. He wasn't in comedies. This was before Meet the Fockers and Meet My Parents and whatnot. This was
this is Taxi Driver. This is Cape Fear. This is
that's right. And it turned out he made that movie into a really good movie. It was It was a great movie.
Yeah, kind of like making fun of like his past movie roles, right?
I'll tell you though, it gets no better than my second favorite movie of all time, Goodfellas. Like, his, Jimmy Conway, his best character ever.
Go down there, get this dresses. Oh, I don't know, Jimmy. I gotta go. Come on. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe a couple for my mother.
Just go. No. They're over there.
No,
They're
thanks, Jimmy. I gotta get the kids.
Yeah. No. So good. So good. We should do a friggin' movie review of that. Why not?
We're watching just De Niro.
That's right.
Just De Niro
That's
movies.
Right. Every single
Analyze
movie.
this. Goodfellas. Godfather.
We just try and like have a put all of his lines together into one cohesive like diatribe.
Across all the movies, or just from
across all the movies, combine them all
to like the Super De Niro.
Yeah, like a super. Yeah,
exactly.
Like Super Scrawl, but Super De Niro. That was fun. I like those fan questions. Keep them coming. Oh my goodness, I didn't even like lead in with the intro. I just realized that. Man, we are rusty.
Hey? Rusties.
I do have the outro here somewhere though.
All right.
Where I can find it.
Do that.
Do you still have the graphics for the we are so rusty. Hey, listen, for the good listener and the good viewer, yeah, exactly. We are coming back from summer break, summer vacation. So
a new season of rustiness.
That's right. And I can't find the outro. So
which is ironic because you just said I had it right here.
No, but remember there was a whole thing where we did the speech and
the whole thing. There was
the whole thing. That's next episode.
There was the thing with the other thing and the thing.
That's right. Well, it is good to be back. I mean, we're going to be back at this more regularly now, which is good for all of our fans.
Well played. Hold on. That deserves a sound effect.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
All right. That's all. That's us. Steve and Cory signing off. Feel good.
Until next week.